Hey all, it's Stefan Bujak from Prestige Real Estate with this month's market review. I'll summarise some of the local sales from last month, but first a real quick opinion and summary about the trajectory of the market and if and when we'll possibly see a correction. Now, I'm no economist, analyst or anything of that nature. I'm just a real estate agent, and so the following is obviously just my opinion only. Let's start with the banking watchdog APRA's stance on the market. This has been making headlines over the last few weeks, and to summarise, they're requesting banks to increase the lending buffer by 0.05%. Basically what that means is that stricter lending policy should be introduced to curb the velocity of growth, decreasing the borrowing power of buyers and thus cooling the market down. So a buyer who can spend 1.45 now will probably only be able to borrow 1.37, and that of course will change the results around the area. Thanks to Confidence Finance for sharing that graph. Another consideration is the market sentiment post-lockdown. That's the general attitude and a feel of buyers and sellers in the market. Now, during lockdown, the time spent at home, made homeowners think about their place, and they probably found problems or found solutions, and then decided to move and purchase a bigger property or a smaller property. Factors like that, as well as interest rates and other conditions, created a bit of a perfect storm. Now, how will the market sentiment be after lockdown, and will the attitudes and motivations of homeowners and buyers change? Will they put it all on the back burner and focus towards goals like traveling, entertainment and socializing once again? An increase in listings post-lockdown is due very soon. This will probably dilute the market, where 20 buyers per property will turn into 10, 12 or 15. It may change the buyer per property ratio, and look, that happens in any sort of market when there's more supply. The local economy, that's another factor as well. Rising inflation concerns or question marks about how the post-lockdown world will be all tend to come together as well and make you think about what the future holds. The US economy, 0% interest rates, inflation's so high. A lot of economists are predicting or are saying that they're actually in a bubble, and it's well known that if the US catches a cold, well, the whole world sneezes. Other big markets like China as well are facing some problems which could affect the Australian housing market. The federal election's looming next year. Now, prior to the last election, we did see downward pressure and a bit of a drop in prices, but then once the election happened, the prices sort of shot up again. So that might affect things as well. And then of course, there's the other side of the coin. The RBA doesn't plan to increase the rates until probably 2024. Once inflation's in the target range of 2 to 3%, I feel then we might be seeing some sort of change. Dominic Perrottet, the new premier as well, he's an advocate for tax reform, particularly stamp duty, and it's a well-known fact that he was a key player in the push to revisit the tax and employ a different method or abolish stamp duty altogether. Imagine not having to pay $50,000 cash to move. This will motivate buyers to purchase, it'll expedite their process, and it'll also allow for homeowners to sell, upsize or downsize earlier than planned. I also think that the attitude towards home ownership has significantly shifted. We're now seeing teenagers as young as 15 starting to save money to purchase their first property. Investors are also back in the market now, so while the interest rates remain low, they've really got nowhere else to put their money. I mean, a first-class ticket to Manhattan and the newest Porsche sounds pretty good, but I feel property will probably be on the top of their asset allocation list. Now, although we're due for more listings coming on the market and buyer dilution will probably occur, there's probably much more motivation for buyers to purchase property within the next 3 months, as many are concerned that they'll have to reapply for finance and might not be able to borrow as much as they could have now. Interesting times ahead indeed, to say the least. Locally, we're experiencing or continuing to experience the bullish buyer trend. Some fantastic results. Arncliff's highest reported sale price was 2.65 million. Banksia was 1.92. Bardwell Valley 2.505. Torella 1.565. Rockdale 1.78. Bridal Sands 2.15. Bexley 1.625. An interesting statistic about Bexley, according to CoreLogic, it's actually one of the country's highest leverage postcodes. Well, we've got some fantastic property coming up, and so if you're a buyer out there looking to purchase, or you've just got some questions about the market or any of our upcoming listings, please, as always, feel free to get in touch. Thanks so much for watching this video. If I can be of service, please give me a call, and I hope you enjoy a little bit more freedom next week.